Hey everyone, this is Ashley from Three Little Greenwoods Creations. Welcome to my wreath workshop. Today I am going to show you a simple tutorial for making a beautiful handmade Christmas wreath. It's all about the greenery, and I'll even show you how to make a bow. So let's get started. First, I want to share with you the materials that you're going to need to make this wreath. All of these materials come from Hobby Lobby. And you can even get them starting in August, which I know sounds crazy, but for all of us Christmas lovers, we can't wait. Here's the greenery. Greenery is very, very important. This is a pine and pine cone spray. They call it a spray because it's a little bit longer than a normal pick. You can see that it's got great texture. It's got deep greens with the light colored pick on the end of it, this little spot right here. Love the pine cones. So we're going to get 2 of these pine cone and pine sprays. We're also going to be using this spray. This is one of my most favorite ones to make wreaths with. I love the texture of it. It's pretty realistic too. I am in South Carolina and we have pine trees all over us. And I love how you can manipulate all of the stems. So we're going to be using 2 of these pine sprays as well. Next, I've got something a little bit different. This is a frosted spray, also from Hobby Lobby. Remember, everything goes from Hobby Lobby. I love the frosty snowiness of it. I love the branch that comes off because that's going to be even extra texture. There's a couple of pine cones as well. So we're going to be using these mixed in with our other greenery. And we need some color. So we're going to be putting these crab apples in our wreath as well. Check out the snow and the crystals. I love it. Now, if you cannot find crab apples, red berries will work, so don't worry. You can even mix it up by getting some gold or silver berries to go in it. Really pretty. I like how big it is as well. And then the last thing that we're going to be adding are some beautiful sparkly snowflakes. These have lots of glitter on them. They're super fun. They come on a long pick, which is going to make it really easy for us to add to our Christmas wreath. So now we need a base. Here's the base that we're going to use. This is a 14-inch grapevine wreath from Hobby Lobby. You can get these all kinds of places. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, all sorts of places. But this one came from Hobby Lobby, just like everything else. I picked it up. Now, so we've talked about all of the materials that we're going to need. We're going to need our wreath, all of our different greenery that I've got right here, some extra fun things to add as well, and our snowflakes. Now let's talk about some of the tools that you are going to need to make your Christmas wreath. You are going to need, first of all, a glue skillet or a glue gun. Now, I have been making wreaths for a long time, and I make tons and tons and tons of wreaths. In my Etsy shop, I've got Christmas wreaths, fall wreaths, beautiful farmhouse wreaths, and I always use my glue skillet to make them. This is a glue skillet. It really is just a very small electric cooking skillet, like maybe your mother used to fry cube steak. When I was a little girl, my mama would fry cube steak in a big black electric skillet just like that. So all you do with these is you just turn it on and you add your glue sticks directly to the skillet. It makes crafting so much easier because you have your hands free. These are the glue sticks that I love. These are Gorilla Glue. I'm sorry that it's a little backwards. These are the best. I am from the South, and in the South it gets really, really, really hot, especially on our front doors. So I always make sure that I am using a high quality, high temp glue for all of my wreaths. So I just added that in there. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. You're also going to need a really sharp pair of scissors. I go through scissors often because I need them to be super sharp to cut my ribbons. A pair of wire cutters. Sounds kind of crazy, but these are the best things for cutting through the thick stems of the florals that we're going to use. And you're also going to need some pipe cleaners or chenille stems. We're going to be using these to make our bow. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. One of my favorite parts to making wreaths is the ribbon. So let's talk about ribbon for just a second. Here are 3 different varieties that you could choose to add to your Christmas wreath. Almost all of these, except for the plaid, came from Hobby Lobby, but you can find a plaid just like this at Hobby Lobby. You always need to make sure that your ribbon is wired. If it isn't wired, it's not going to stand up. So wired ribbon is a must. I'm going to set these aside, and we'll start with this in just a second. One more thing. This is an easy bow maker. I make most of my bows on this little wooden tool. You can find them on Amazon, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. They're all over the place. It just makes bow making so much easier for me to do. So I'm going to show you how to make a bow on this easy bow maker. All right, so let's get started with our Christmas wreath. I am super excited. Christmas is one of my most favorite months. First, we're going to go back to our wreath that we got from Hobby Lobby. Remember, this is a 14-inch wreath. It needs a little bit of cleaning up. You need to prep it just a little bit. So I'm going to take my wire cutters and start by removing the tag. And also snipping off the middle ring that's on it. Sometimes you don't even see it, but I always remove it anyway. Now this wreath is pretty clean, but there are a couple of stragglers that I'm just gonna snip off. Just makes it a little bit more professional. Now if you like the look of all of the little twisty vines, leave them on there. It's your wreath. I also want to go through and remove any dead leaves like this, because we don't want those on our pretty wreath. Next, we're going to make the hanger. I always put a hanger on my bows, on my wreaths, because first of all, I want my customers to know how to hang it, you know. So let's start with that. And simply, you're going to take a pipe cleaner. I'm using white so that you can see it really well. And let's see. I think I like it that way. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, fold it in half, just like this. And to make the hanger, I'm simply going to weave the pipe cleaner through pieces of the grapevine, just like this. On the bottom, where the pieces are loose, I'm just going to twist them together. It's going to make a circle. Okay. Now you're going to take your top part, put it through your twisted, and pull it up, and there you go. There's your hanger. Easy peasy. So I'm going to hang it just like this on my wreath easel. You can see that my children have decorated it with all sorts of things for me. I am a busy mama of 3 children. My husband and I are, doing the best we can to raise them as good as we can. They are from 16 down to 10, and they are so much fun. Next, let's work on our bow. I love this Christmas plaid. I did get this at Sam's. If you're a Sam's Club member, you can get ribbon just like this, really inexpensively from Sam's. But, like I said, they've got it at Hobby Lobby too. I'm gonna start by dovetailing my ends. And simply, all that is you fold your ribbon over and you cut a diagonal line up, and that dovetails your ends just like that. I want you to be able to see what I am doing to make our bow with my Easy Bow Maker. It's one of my favorite tools other than my hot glue skillet, which is my most favorite tool. I'm going to tip the camera down just a little bit so you guys can see what I am doing. So here's my Easy Bow Maker right there. And I'm going to take my chenille stems and make them extra long by connecting them together. Just twisting the ends. Going to place it in between the two wooden dowels, and then put the pipe cleaners up underneath the Easy Bow Maker just to kind of keep them out of the way. I want this Christmas wreath bow to have long streamers, so I am going to use this to make some long streamers. I'm going to make my streamers 16 inches long. If you don't want them that long, you don't have to make them that long. Gonna dovetail this one again. Just like that. Let's make another one. Ribbon is one of my most favorite things to work with. I love putting lots of different colors and patterns together. In my Etsy shop, I have so many beautiful bows, and you can use bows everywhere. Bows are not just for Christmas. I've got farmhouse bows, fall bows, all sorts of bows. So here's our two ribbon streamers, and I'm going to stack them on top of each other and place them down into my Easy Bow Maker. Just like this. I'm going to check to make sure that I've got them even in there. Perfect. Now let's build the rest of our bow. I just dropped my ribbon on the floor. It just makes it easier to work with. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put our ribbon pretty side down in the Easy Bow Maker, leaving about an inch on the end. We're going to measure out 6 inches to make our first loop. We want a really big, pretty bow. So I'm going to the 6-inch mark, twisting it so that the back side is up again, and then giving myself another 6-inch loop, just like that. You see how both of these sides are showing the pretty ribbon up top? Just going to keep going, twisting it and making a loop. Take the time to lay your ribbon really pretty. Just twist and make loops. We're making these loops 6 inches because we want a big, full bow. Now, if you are not a fan of the traditional plaid, that's okay. You can use the red buffalo check. That is super trendy. You could use a candy cane stripe ribbon. That would be fantastic on a Christmas bow. Twist it, just keep on twisting it, and you're just stacking this bow up over and over and over. I think that I am going to make five loops on each side. That will give a total of 10 bow loops. That's going to be a really big, pretty bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. It might take you a few tries to get your bow making right, but it's really not hard. Just keep practicing. So let's take a closer look up close. So see, here's what I've done. I have stacked my loops up, 5 loops on this side, 5 loops on this side, and our nice long ribbon streamers. Now here's how you get it out, which is always the trick, right? I'm going to keep a tight handle on my ribbons. Pull them tight with the chenille stem. Grab them up just like this, keeping lots of pressure on the ribbon. You don't want all of your hard work to pop out of place. Just like this. Now I am pulling very tight. Here's the back. I'm going to give it a really good twist several times. I do not want my bow to pop loose. But if it does, it's not the end of the world. You can easily fix it. I have done it many, many times. So now that we've got our bow like this, it's not very pretty right now. We need to fluff it, and here's how you fluff it. You just take your ribbon loops and you pull one way and you pull the other way, back and forth, using your fingers and your hands to fluff out those bows, those bow loops. I love making bows. I love getting customer requests. I have people contact me on my Etsy shop all the time, asking me if I can make a certain bow for them with different colors, bigger with streamers, smaller with no streamers. So you can always reach out and let me know. I love this bow. Isn't that pretty? So it's going to go right here on our wreath. Do you guys hear the jingle jangle? That is my sweet, sweet puppy dog. She always comes up here and says hey while I'm working. So if you hear a little jingle jangle, that's her collar. She likes to follow her mama around. So here is our 14-inch grapevine wreath, and we're going to start by putting on our bow. That will give us a good point of reference to where we're going to start on here. So you have to think of a wreath like a clock. We've got 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. This is backwards for you guys. 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. It's just like a clock. We're gonna put our bow in about the 10, 11 o'clock position on our grapevine wreath. And the way that you attach it, you've got these really long chenille stems. You're just gonna poke it through the grapevine. You always want to anchor it in the grapevine and not just wrap it around the grapevine, because you don't want your ribbon to slide. You want it to stay where you want it. Just like that. And I am just going to twist in the back and attach it. Just like that. See, it's already pretty with just a bow. Now let's add some of our greenery. Here's the fun part. Let's start with our largest piece. So this is the pine and pine cone spray. Got it at Hobby Lobby, just like everything else. And I have 2 of them. I have 2 of almost everything except for the snowflakes. Here it is right here. Still got my Hobby Lobby tag on there. Go ahead and cut that off. Now, if you can't find exactly what I have, it's okay. Find something that looks a lot like it. It'll be all right. We want to manipulate this and really give it some texture and depth. So I'm just going to pull apart all of these stems. Just like this. So it went from being very flat to being very full. All right, so we're going to start by adding these, one up top and one on the bottom. This stem is too long. That's why you got these. So I'm going to cut the stem in half. Sometimes I need to use 2 hands. Let's go ahead and cut this one in half as well. We don't really need this big long stem. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm going to move this forward just a little bit so you guys can really see what I'm doing. Move this up just a tad. There we go. Let's start with the first one. We're going to take this and put it on top of our wreath. Just like that. Dipping it in my hot glue skillet. Now remember, if you don't have a hot glue skillet, that is okay. Just use your glue gun. We're really going to push down the stem into the grapevine. Just like that. Let's do the same with the second one. See how I bent it just a little bit? We're making a crescent wreath or a half moon wreath. So we want our greenery to go up like this and down like that. So I give this one just a little bit of a bend. Get lots of good glue on it. I'm going to put it up under my bow and just really attach it deep into the grapevine. See how we've got our shape already? Now, be careful. Hot glue is hot. Ask me how I know. Can you see my bandage? Oh, I burnt myself really bad last week. Let's add some more texture with these, my most favorite. I love these pine stems. Again, it's too long. I'm going to cut it in half. Here is my other one. Now look how flat it is. See? We don't want that. We want it to be nice and full with lots of great dimension. Let me cut this tag off real fast. Hobby Lobby, I wish that you wouldn't put your tags on quite so well. Sometimes they're really hard to get off. So let's plump this guy up. I'm just going to take all of the pieces and poof it out. Now, I drop one. Hold on while I pick it up. Here we go. Let me trim this bottom part off. So I started making wreaths. I've made wreaths for years and years and years. And I loved it so much. My friends and family kept asking me to make wreaths for them. They would want to buy the wreaths that I had made for myself, and I decided to turn it into a business. And I am loving making wreaths and sending them all over the states to homes everywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. I'm actually going to put this kind of in the back here. Dip it in my glue skillet. I'm going to put it back behind our first greenery. Take a few minutes to kind of weave that greenery in and out of each other. Just like that, big. And let's do this one. Make sure you move your tails out of the way. You don't want to get glue on your beautiful ribbon tails. I'm also going to put this one up under the first greenery. Taking a few minutes, pull it apart, get lots of this texture. I love this pine spray. It reminds me of our home. There we go. So we've got lots of going up, lots of greenery going down, lots of different textures. Now we're going to add our really pretty snowy pick. I have 2 of these. I got 2 of almost everything except for I got 4 of the snowflakes. Cut these tags off. You see it's pretty tight. We don't want to leave it tight. We want to pull it apart, manipulate it. Love the cute little pine cones. Super cute. There we go. Now, I want to make sure that this pick is really spread all around the wreath. So I'm going to use my wire cutters and cut it in half. Do you see this little piece right here? It's already separating itself. And I'm going to pull it. See there? Now I have another piece. So we've got our big piece like this and our smaller piece. Let's cut this a little bit smaller. And let's put this guy right here to add some different color and texture. Right behind the bow. I'm going to try not to get any glue strings, but I always do. Can you guys hear my little neighbors playing next door? There we go. Perfect. So you see that it came apart even more, but that's okay. We can use this piece over here. let's use this piece up here. We're just adding layers upon layers upon layers. Perfect. Let's take this one apart as well. So I'm going to pull this stem off first. Can you hear my neighbors? I love having little children next door. It always reminds me of when mine were little. All right, so we have 3 separate pieces. So let's add this guy in first. Remember, we're going in this shape. I'm going to add him right up under the bow. Work it into the grapevine as much as you can. We go. Put this one. Let's see. Let's put it down here. One more piece. Let's add this guy over here. It's important to make your creations symmetrical. You know, like what's on the top is on the bottom. Now, berries. Let's see, I might try to just keep these all in one piece and add them to the top. Let's see how that looks. I like to break them apart. Just pulling it apart, just like I did before. One up here. Trim it up just a little bit. Put one back there. And let's put this big one kind of in the front. Work it my way. There we go. Down into the grapevine. So you can see how that really added a lot of color to it. We've got one more of these. So not only do I have my wreath workshop on Etsy, I am also a preschool teacher. I teach 4-year-old kindergarten at one of the churches in our small town. And it's so much fun. I love that age. 4-year-olds, they're the best. They think everything you do is magical. Let's add some berries to the bottom. Let's see, put some right here. Remember, you're just layering, layering, layering. Goes right there. Let's put this one over here. Got lots of glue strings. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but I've got tons of glue strings everywhere. But that's okay because I have a trick for that. And let's put one on this side over here. All right, guys, we're almost done. Perfect. Now you can stop right here. If you really like this look with just lots of berries, lots of greenery, a big, beautiful bow, you can stop right here. But let's add some snowflakes because snowflakes are so much fun. Now I have 4 of these. I'm gonna put 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Here they are. They have a nice long pick. Now, here is a designer trick. Before you start gluing these in, put them where you think you would like them, and then step back and look and see what you think. Up there. I should back this up just a little bit so you can see it. There. You see a little bit better now? I'm going to take these 2, put these down here. All right. Love it. They really pop, don't they? Adding any sort of white to your creations really, really makes them pop. So let's go ahead and glue them in. I like what I'm seeing. I'm going to start here on the bottom. Dipping it in my glue pot and just weaving it up into the grapevine. Don't get burned. Because glue, hot glue, is really hot. Oh, come on. There we go. You can kind of manipulate it where you want it. Let's do the ones on the top. We are almost finished. Weave it down into my grapevine. There we go. One more. Just put this guy up here. There we go. We are done. Now all we need to do is fluff the bow. Pull our streamers to where we want them. You can curl them up, which is always pretty. Get all these glue strings off. So the trick with your glue strings is simply a warm hair dryer. That's it. And we'll melt them all away. Let's roll these up just a little bit. All right, guys, that's it. We created this beautiful and big Christmas wreath with all the supplies at Hobby Lobby. It's full of greenery, lots of different textures. I love the berries. These aren't berries, these are crab apples, but if you can't find crab apples, you can also use berries. We made a big, beautiful Christmas bow. I just love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this DIY Christmas wreath tutorial. Again, I'm Ashley Greenwood, and I have an Etsy shop called Three Little Greenwoods Creations. I would love for you to take a few minutes and hop on over and see what I've got. There are bows, tree toppers for your Christmas tree, Christmas wreaths, farmhouse wreaths, all sorts of goodness. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day. Oh, one more thing. I would love for you to subscribe to my email list. I'll drop a link. Bye.